by doing the cardinal sin of speaking at the open mic. This is his first time at the Ottawa Tavern. Give it up for him. Warm welcome for Mr. David Leicester.
Thank you. The name is actually David Lesneski. I'm Mexican, you can tell by the last name. So let's get this out of the way. Is this suit too much, folks? Yes. Is it? No? Thank you. Well, sometimes I get a little worried because I'm always like coming from work and people are like, hey David, you dress so nice. Like, you got some like money or something? You like a day trader? And if you saw my wallet, you think it's more like Day Trader Joe and not an actual day trader. As I said, I am Mexican. I don't exactly project Mexican, I get that. And the image for Latin right now is like Bad Bunny, and I'm more like Mild Rabbit. I'm not the best Mexican either. Like, my family, we owned a Mexican restaurant for 65 years in Michigan. Thank you. We sold it. But we owned it for 65 years, and when I was a kid, my dad would pick me up from school, and he would be like, David, what kind of Mexican food do you want today? And I would be like, Dad, I really want Taco Bell. And people would tell me like, oh, David, how can you eat Taco Bell? It's sacrilege. You're the real deal, man. You can get some real Mexican food. And here's the thing, folks. Taco Bell is not Mexican food. It's just not. Like, if you want commercialized Mexican food that has just as good a chance as giving you diarrhea as if you were to go to a taco truck, you gotta go to Chipotle. They got birds flying around in there. You're gonna catch something. I mean, even like where I grew up kind of like gave me this like false, like a bigger ego, a false sense of identity. I grew up in this place in Michigan called Grosse Seal. I don't know if any of you know Grosse Seal like that. One person. Don't cheer for them. There you go. Like I said, ego's already big enough. But it gave me this like false sense of like identity. Like I grew up thinking I have white male privilege, when really I just got male privilege. Like, let me give you an example. This is true. The tags on my truck outside have been expired for 2 years. I've been pulled over twice, and nothing has happened to me. Like the officer says, license registration, open up, give it to me. Like, okay, Lesneski. All right, you can be on your way, sir. Like, it's getting to the point where I want to test to see how far I can get it. Like, maybe you'll try to get a loan from the bank without a cosigner. Even in comedy, like, my idols were not Latin comedians, Latinx comedians, Mexican comedians, and like that. I grew up watching comics like George Carlin, Chris Rock, Louis Black. Like, my favorite comedian right now is Neil Brennan. I like how he can kind of bring the happy with a little bit of the trauma and then make it seem like, oh yeah, he goes to therapy. So, guys like George Lopez, I don't resonate with. I just said I grew up in this place called Grosse Seal, very white. George Lopez grew up in LA, not very white. Gabriel Iglesias, big fluffy comedian. I like Taco Bell, but it's not that much. Like, the closest I really get is Louis C.K., who, like myself, people don't know or don't realize is a Mexican comedian. This is the biggest difference between he and I, is that I'm more of a private masturbator. Not topical either. I've been doing that joke for the last couple months. So being like this, like, I've been struggling with this, getting this like identity crisis. Like, my friends try to help me out. They're like, say, David, why don't you take the 23andMe or something like that? Figure out what your genes are. And we already give up so much information, like just by having our phones in our pockets. Like, the last little bastard is giving up that bit of biological data, and I'll be damned if I give it up for just a cotton swab. And if I'm going to give it up, I want to give it up for one of those Westworld robots. Those ones that you actually have like sex with and everything. So that way when the singularity comes and the robot comes to kill me, I can just be like, oh, it was worth it. And then the other thing too is, like, I just don't trust the science behind those things either. Like, 23andMe, they say it's proven, whatever, but did you know there's a 23andMe for dogs? This is a true thing. You can actually see the breed of your dog by doing this 23andMe. And that sounds like the biggest scam ever, and I went in on it though. Like we'd do it, and we do it like a Maury Povich style show, since he's retiring now. I'll take his time slot. And we'll get the owner and the dog, we'll put them in like the opposite room, and you see the dog on the screen, it's like happy and everything, and the owner's like, I paid $3,000 for this purebred, I love her so much, I love her so much. Then we get the results, and we find out they are not the purebred that they think they are. And the owner's crushed, like, oh my God, I spent so much, why? And then like you see there's a bitch just coming around, just going, be like, woof, 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 like he knows he's the dad the entire time. All right, folks, that's been my time. David, thank you.